Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. Fabio Wardley, Jarrell Miller, it is now official. So this had been teased and announced by the Ring magazine as likely to happen and now confirmed. So you can see here the press release from Queensbury. We'll go through it. So Wardley and Miller, 7th of June at the football ground of Ipswich Town FC and the ground Portman Road. So big step up for Fabio Wardley in his career following his domestic level win over Fraser Clark. And we'll come to that soon because it's a question. Was there another interim step before a fight like a Jarrell Miller, or is this the perfect time? Guess there'll be views either way. So he will face the American Jarrell Miller in a huge homecoming heavyweight fight, the press release says, to be held at Ipswich Town's Portman Road Stadium Saturday 7 June, live and exclusive on DAZN. And interestingly, as it notes here, the interim WBA World Heavyweight Championship will be on the line between Wardley and Miller. And I'll jump in there because why? What's the point? The WBA seemingly on its BS again, putting up trinkets when they're not needed. This fight was good without it, but I guess maybe having some sort of, so-called legitimate world title on the line was going to help this fight in some way. But the WBA, as we know, has been making noise for a number of years that they're trying to reduce the amount of belts they have in each division. As it is, there is a holder of the regular title, which is Brit. It's unclear why an interim title would be needed, and as we know, there is the super champion, the real champion, Alexander Usyk. So to me, this is craziness, but regardless. So a press conference has been held for the 7th of April, or will be held, I should say, and tickets will go on sale the same day. So we'll go down to some of the quotes here. So you've got Fabio Wardley saying, "As a proud tractor boy born and bred in Ipswich, this is a dream come true for me. Fighting for a world title at Portman Road means everything to me. I've got a tough opponent in front of me, but that's what I live for. I'm ready to dig deep, go to battle and leave it all in the ring. Even more so than usual. It's going to be a war and I can't wait to give my hometown crowd a spectacle they'll never forget." And his manager, Michael Ofo, says, and that's interesting, his manager, because he had previously been managed by Dillian White. Maybe that relationship is no more, not quite clear on that. But he says, Wardley bleeds Ipswich. He's dreamt of nights like this his whole life, and now it's his moment. The man across the ring is no pushover, but that's exactly what we want. Real challenges, real fights. He's ready for war, and then that bell rings. You'll see why he's the pride of the east of England. And you have Miller's advisor, Spencer Brown, saying, "I'm delighted to bring this fabulous opportunity to Jarrell on such a big stage. I think he's the best heavyweight in America, and if I didn't think he was going to win, we wouldn't have taken this fight. Fabio is a great fighter, one of the best in the UK, and a good guy, and he's bitten off more than he can chew. It's great to team up with Queensbury once again. It's going to be some night at Portman Road on June 7, and I'm 100% behind my man to get the job done." There are some quotes higher up. I'm not exactly sure who they're from, but we won't dwell on that. So you have Wardley versus Miller, 7th of June. So a couple of months of preparation time. This has obviously been in the works for some time. Wardley, a week or two ago, had sort of said there are a number of guys that I would like to face, and Miller was among them. And when he was making those comments, it was clear that maybe that order with the WBA for him to fight Kubrat Pulev and then the winner face Michael Hunter, that perhaps that wouldn't actually come through. So it's unclear what happens on that side with that fight, and in terms of that order and that sort of thing. Perhaps Pulev will be ordered to face Michael Hunter. We'll have to see. Unclear why an interim title's on the line here, why the order didn't go through, but I don't mind it because I think this is a very good fight. There is the question about, is it too much too soon? Has Fabio Wardley bitten off more than he can chew? I mean, I always like to recount a sort of quote that he sort of said in a Twitter space, maybe it was 2 or 3 years ago now, maybe even longer, 4 years perhaps, where you can't jump back down once you go past a certain level. So he did end up with his management and advisors kept it at a certain level, at the sort of top end of domestic level. He had the British title, but I think his level where he has been fighting is the equivalent of, facing, the European champion, being a European sort of level fighter. Miller, the question with him at 300 odd pounds and off the PEDs, how is he going to look? What is this big occasion going to mean for Fabio Wardley in terms of it's a big stadium fight? It's his dream to have a big fight at his home ground. Is that going to lead to some excitement, dumping some adrenaline like we sort of saw in the first fight with Fraser Clark? Because I think Fabio Wardley is a fighter who is slowly getting polished up, given he had a lack of an amateur background and has been learning on the job. But we have been seeing him make mistakes. He corrected his mistakes with Fraser Clark from the first fight. In the second fight, knocked him out in a round, managed to exploit something there in terms of being able to bring his guard down and really absolutely poleaxe him and take him out. But Jarrell Miller is, you'd have to say, been operating at a higher level and for some considerable time compared to a Fraser Clark, who at this point still is a domestic level fighter in the United Kingdom. So it is a step up for Wardley. I think Wardley, we know sometimes he can get a little bit over exuberant. We did see him tire, somewhat in the back end of the first fight with Fraser Clark. And that's something that Jarrell Miller will try to take advantage of if it happens. But Miller himself, off the PEDs, has looked different. He had 7 good rounds versus Daniel Dubois. And you could see in the Andy Ruiz fight, he was able to absorb a lot of punishment early, and he let Ruiz effectively punch himself out, and that's when he started to go to work. I thought he won that fight narrowly, but ultimately it was a majority draw. So he put in a very good performance against Daniel Dubois, got stopped very late in that one, but it was a good performance. He had Daniel Dubois on the rack midway through that fight. So if he's able to warm up, bring his pressure game, and sort of really put it on Fabio Wardley and get into his work and be successful about it, could put Fabio Wardley under a lot of pressure. Because what's going to happen when Fabio Wardley sees that he's not breaking down Miller? Miller has a very good chin. He will take shots. He will absorb them. He will hope Fabio Wardley's tank is slowly ebbing down, going towards empty, which will present openings for him, probably in the second half of the fight. If he was able to stop Jarrell Miller, it'd be a massive statement. If he's able to hurt him significantly, and we haven't really sort of seen before in the first half of a fight, it would also be a big statement. This to me feels like it could go the distance, or someone gets stopped later in the fight. I don't see this one ending early. So I think we'll have to see a disciplined game plan from Fabio Wardley, because Jarrell Miller will be planning to try to take Fabio Wardley, I think, in the second half of the fight. Jarrell Miller will still come forward. He'll have the high guard up. He'll be throwing his array of arm punches and hoping that that can slowly wear down Fabio Wardley. It's not the Energizer Bunny from 2018, 2019 that we saw Miller just, grinding guys into the dust. But Miller, even off the PEDs, has shown to be extremely effective. He just doesn't have the same amount of energy in the tank that he once did. But who knows? It could be enough. It is a step up for Fabio Wardley. And there's quite a bit on the line. It's a big fight in his hometown, at his home football ground. There's going to be a lot on the line. He'll want to impress. So I think they're going to have to really have a smart game plan on the Wardley side. They're going to have to try to use, he's got a bit of a height and reach advantage. Not huge, but I think he is going to need to, mix in a bit of boxing and moving along with the trading, because I don't think you just want to be standing there just right in front of Miller all the time. And if he's able to slowly break Miller down, I mean, who knows what could happen. But I like the fight. I really do. And I think Miller's opportunity to win the fight will come in the second half, where he will fancy, if he can slowly get on top of a tiring Fabio Wardley, that he can do something, because we've seen it in the past. And it could be a carbon copy potentially to the Ruiz fight. But I think, as we know, Wardley will be in better shape, hopefully have more gas in the tank than a very looking out of shape Andy Ruiz Jr. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment, loud and often, hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.